Welcome everybody to the Daily High. Happy $70,000. We said at the end of last night's show that I think that it'll be above 70 in today's show, and by God, it's nearly at 71. It's been over 70. Tone, you got a bit of a feedback loop there coming in, brother.
Oh, I muted that. Shit.
We've just fallen into the matrix. I am getting so sick of Queensland beating New South Wales. I'm getting sick of it. I'm over it. I can't handle it. Tone, have you fixed your audio?
I did. I did. Were you like hearing yourself through my audio?
Yeah, I was for a second, yeah.
Yeah, when I need that to happen on purpose, I can't make it happen. But when it's by accident, it always seems to work. All right,
All right,
we're good now.
take it away.
Okay, so I'll go first. Let's
All right.
jump in on this here. Yeah, still in Las Vegas. Still in Las Vegas. I'm actually gonna start with this chart because I happen to have it up on the screen. This is the path of Bitcoin. And we can see already that the path of Bitcoin is about to be, is already higher than the last two paths at this stage. And it looks like we're starting to take off a little bit. So I'm actually hopeful. Imagine if we start following the blue line. Oh boy. The blue line, this was the path of the 2013 bull market. And if we follow that path, I mean, we don't have to follow that path all the way, but even if we follow that path halfway, that puts us at $200,000 a Bitcoin by August. That's how fast Bitcoin went up in early 2013. I don't have the stats in front of me, but I just want to comment on the ETFs buying Bitcoin. Yesterday, the ETFs bought 12,500 Bitcoin in one day. Now, miners only mine 3,000 Bitcoin in one day. So that was 4x the mining supply in a single day. And if you think about it that way, Bitcoin yesterday only rising $1,750 is not that much considering miners bought 4 times the daily mineable supply. If, not miners, sorry, ETFs. If ETFs continue to buy at this rate for like a week or two straight, we can actually like start approaching 100K. There's just not going to be enough Bitcoin liquidity to go around. Just think about it. Where did miners find 12,000 Bitcoin yesterday? And imagine if they have to find another 12,000 again today and another 12,000 again on Wednesday. And let's say it happens to be 20,000 on Friday if FOMO sets in. Like, that's a lot of Bitcoin in a single week. So I have my stats, and basically the miners bought Bitcoin, more Bitcoin yesterday than are mined in a single week. Like in a single week, it's like 12,500 Bitcoin. So they literally got it in like one day. And yeah, this can get out of hand to the upside in a hurry if that happens. Right now, the chart looks very, very good. It looks like a beautiful cup, inverse head and shoulders. You can call it a cup and handle as well. I think breaking out right now to the upside is not exactly stable. Personally, I would rather see more consolidation in my shorted consolidated range. In my perfect world, as I am looking at a daily chart, we would hit an MRI top sometime later this week, next week, and then pull back and do one more back test of either the 50 period moving average or even the 250 period moving average, but stay above 65K. I don't want to see 65K lost. I I mean, ideally, we're not even breaking 66K to the downside. We are going to be flirting with fire a little bit, but this will create a lot more stability for a move to 100K. If there was one more pullback down to 66 after, hitting this 72 to 74 range, maybe, I wonder what would happen if we flip Alpha Numerics Lucid SAR, and then still pull back to 65. I wonder if it'll flip-flop back and forth. But if it
No.
does, it's not going to take long for us to flip it again. Matt, comment on that?
Yeah, no, mate. It would have to go below 55 at that point.
Okay. Okay, so that would be good. That would create some awesome buy the dips on Alpha Numerics, and hopefully one more shot at a Bitcoin MRI buy on a daily scale. Right now, we've only had two. We only had two MRI buys on a daily scale. One back in January, which was perfect, and one back in May, which was even more perfect. Actually, no, they're both perfect. There was one on January 1st, but I'm almost discounting this one because it's January 1st. And almost discounting it, but it still wasn't bad. It wasn't perfect, but it wasn't bad. Okay, higher time frames, weekly chart. The weekly chart is probably the most bullish one of the bunch. Let me glance at the oscillators. It looks good. I can adjust this trend line here, and we're now rising up. Plenty of room to get into overbought territory. Hopefully on this new up to a new high, we even go above the prior moves of the RSI. The MACD still looks troublesome, but we can certainly cross that over. This will be the first time ever Bitcoin would cross the MACD back over at such a high level. And I'm not a MACD expert per se. I have used it. I honestly don't know what that would mean. I don't know if that's a really bullish signal, a neutral signal, or a worrisome signal. But man, we can get some ridiculous moves off the MACD here. If it crosses over one more time, it would kind of look silly. The best one of the bunch is, of course, CMF. This is a CMF going back to 2010. And I don't know if I need this downward trend line break anymore, but maybe I'll still keep it. I mean, we are looking at something historic here on this indicator. Holy shit. We are on the verge of having the second highest RSI reading in Bitcoin's history. This is a good sign. This is not a bad sign. Like right here, when we broke, let me zoom in on this. When we did this, the last time was in December. This was December when we broke to a new all-time high. I mean, maybe even if I do this, we hit it like December. But when was the top? Remember, the top of Bitcoin was in April. So that's back here. It was already grossly on a decline. The price continues to go way higher after the highs when it comes to the CMF. The CMF is a very powerful indicator, and it's about to break the new highs. And it's very likely that, like this is a really good indicator. Like when this thing breaks the new highs, you're still gonna have likely. I mean, I'm just speaking absolutes here. You're likely to have a lot more upside with this thing crashing. It really it gives you so much warning that we should really pay way more attention to it. I mean, it being at these levels, it like almost predicts where the price is going for weeks, if not months in advance. I mean, this thing is really exciting. Like here, when we broke to new highs, this is February 2013. This top comes April 8th. I mean, this thing crashed very, very quickly, but we crashed from $250 down to $50 in a single week. This was, I guess, a little bit of an exception. And I really want to see the 2017 top as well. Like, it's probably here. No, this is June 2017. And then we start falling on a CMF, but the price is still rising. Remember, guys, we were rising all throughout 2017. And then it turns again and starts rising. And then it tops here in November, but it makes a lower high. That's a little bit of a divergence. So you do have to be careful. But the market didn't top until the very end of November, so you still had a little bit of time left. Matt, any questions from your side on all this?
No, mate. I actually dropped out there for a second. It cut out and I had to rejoin the stream, but I just caught the last minute of that. And yeah, it's very exciting to see that we're back at these levels. And this is not it goes back to like the RSI thing when people think that overboard on the RSI is a bad thing. Yeah, it's a bad thing, but not immediately. It a room to go with the overboard, and this looks like it's quite similar in that respect.
Right. It's a bad thing eventually, but in
Yeah,
real
right.
time, it's not. This is one of your favorite indicators, and it looks very, very good.
Very good.
Okay. The weekly chart is the biggest bull of the bunch, especially on the MRI, and it will be on alpha numerics. Can even be today. It can even
Yeah.
flip today. It can definitely happen. Matt will talk more about that. My allocation is, of course, 100% bullish, and I'm so tempted to make this 150% bullish for the first time. So tempted. Isn't it
Yeah.
tempting?
I mean, I'm leveraged to the gills, mate. I hear you.
Oh my God, look at this hourly candle.
Yeah.
Bounces right off the MRI support line. Look at the hourly top, comes off an MRI sell situation. We're about to get a green star candle next candle. So close to the swing high, so close to the all-time high. What a beautiful hourly chart. We've had two green star candles in this, in this recent picture. Both of them led to very nice upside. We had two downtrend looking arrows. Both of them led to a little bit of downside. So the MRI is performing very textbook. And remember what I said yesterday? Remember when I like fudged with this trend line a bit yesterday? And I'm like, man, we need to break right off this trend line right here and go up. These are my arrows from yesterday's stream using the 1 hour and the 4 hour chart. And it's doing exactly what I said. I mean, if we fall below these moving averages, this was the concern. And I'm like, let's try to avoid that. And then we went up immediately off of this line. Beautiful. I do want to see us go higher. I would love to even, you know, let's do this. I want to see us challenge the all-time high. Maybe even break it by $1 and then pull back and then once again hold this trend line and then once again make this push, make everyone FOMO in. And then if we break this trend line on the downside, it won't be a big deal because now you got plenty of support in the upper 60s and, scare everyone and then do it again. All right. On this note, I'm going to hand it off to Matt.
Yeah,
Let's
thanks,
go.
Tone. That's fantastic, mate. Before I go on through the charts, and I've got bloody nothing to say, we're at all-time highs. Please like and subscribe, share it with your friends. Please join the Discord group, and please, there's 1 day left to register. 1 day left to register and join my team on the BitGet trading competition. There's some teams in there with like 15,000 people. We got 31, something like that, people registered right now, but they're quality people. And with you on my team, I think we have a real good chance to shake it up. I'm going to burn through this analysis because there is nothing to say that Tone hasn't said. I'm going to start on the hourly time frame. Why not? When we just before we started the show, we started to tear down a little bit, and I thought, aha, here we go. It's again we're tearing down with the start of the show, but the strength that bounce that we came off it, we dropped down 1,000 points here, like from 74, 71, 400 to 7,400. That was $1,000 drop, and it's bounced up really, really well. We're sitting at 71. We're above the MRI support and resistance zone, where it looks like in 21 seconds we're going to get a let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to get a MRI green star. Let's close above this 7 simple moving average here. All systems go on the 1 hour time frame. There's nothing else to say there. 4 hour time frame. Let's have a gander. We're above all the moving averages on alphanumetrics. We had that great bounce that we've just had right now. I'm really excited. I'm still in my trade from 67,642, which looks really good in hindsight when you look at it, zoom out like that. But keep in mind, I took on that trade, that trade, that trade, that trade, that trade. They all got like break even or just the fees for the trade. I didn't take any profit all last week, but I stuck to my guns and got a really sensational trade. Um, I mean that's trading 101 in that sense. I had that ascending triangle, whatever line drawn in. I'm going to get rid of that now. It's irrelevant. We are getting close to an MRI top. I don't care. Above all the moving averages, I'm staying in this trade. I think there's real momentum in Bitcoin right now, as there's been for the last year and a half. As I said yesterday, when we look back on this, it's going to look like a vertical line. You're not going to remember all these from 17,200 when we got that green diamond on alphanumetrics on the weekly time frame right here. From here to today, I mean, you could have done nothing else. You could have done nothing else except buy the weekly green diamond on alphanumetrics and have done nothing, and you've outperformed everything. It looks fantastic. Looking at it weekly right now, looks absolutely brilliant. That is about to change. We're about to, I think, probably today, we'll crack. The green wave will flip, and then there is nothing else bearish. Sure, we're going to have ebbs and flows, but I really hope if this trading competition comes on tomorrow in exactly 12 hours time from in 24 hours time from right now, and that wave's green and Bitcoin's at $71,000 plus, it's going to be really exciting and real easy trading because I'm going to get degenerately long and just leverage to the gills, and we're going to take out first prize. I'm coming back now, Tone. There's nothing to chart. We're above everything, and I'm jacked. I'm jacked to the tits. Tone, what does the
I'm
S&P
gonna
look
take
like?
I'm gonna take the screen share back. I have to correct something I said incorrectly. I said that there's 3,150 Bitcoins mined per day. That was grossly incorrect. That is how much is mined per week. I just had that number in my head. Per day, it's actually only 450 Bitcoin. So I'm actually gonna add that in here
So where did they
or
get
into my.
12,000 Bitcoins from yesterday?
That's the big question, huh? So, and I have the latest numbers where we haven't tweeted this out yet, but they're in my spreadsheet. In the month of May, the ETFs bought 30,000 Bitcoin. That was the second largest month, so you can see it right here. So these are all 4 months since ETF's inception. January was a little short-handed because the ETFs started on like January 11th. So the first month only had half the days as part of the Bitcoin ETF. February was the monster with 111,000 Bitcoin added to the ETF. March was good at 67,000. April was the one where they sold more than they bought. And now here in May, these are the last 3 weeks of May. The first week of May was negative, and the last 3 weeks of May were positive. So you can see how yesterday's one day 12,000 Bitcoin purchase was almost half the Bitcoin they bought in the entire month of May. And if we now look at these numbers and we see that February was the biggest purchase, March was the second biggest, and then May and January were about even, with April being a negative month, and they sold Bitcoin. And now we go to that weekly chart, that same exact weekly chart, and we look at the months. We have, here is January, which was a bit up and down because it ran up prior to the ETF, and they already had so much OTC ready to go, it didn't affect the spot market. The second month, that's the one where they bought 111,000 Bitcoin. Look at this candle. Then the next month where they bought 37,000 Bitcoin is right here. This is the month where they sold just 6,000 Bitcoin. And you can see how bad of a down month it is. Last month, they bought 30,000. And yesterday, they bought 12,000. Now, it's not that much data points, but we can already see something. we can see that, man, if these ETFs buy another 100,000 Bitcoin this month, we're probably going to get a candle looking close to the February candle. In fact, on a blow off, there's probably less Bitcoin to go around. But if Bitcoin price goes to 90, more people will be willing to sell, right? So they have to buy twice as much now. But at the same time, if there is a sell-off of only like 10, 15,000 Bitcoin from the ETFs, it can really, really drag down the market. So we can actually get a lot more volatility here. And it's possible we can see a 2013 type of year to the upside where Bitcoin went from $10 to 250, crashed to 50, then went to 1300. Because of these ETFs, we can actually see massive volatility where Bitcoin goes to say 150,000, 200,000, then falls all the way down to 60, 70, and then by the time the cycle is over, back above quarter mil. We can see this kind of volatility because of these ETFs. So just be ready for it. Be ready for anything. All right. On this note, maybe a peek at the traditional markets. Oh, oil prices. God damn. I can't really explain it. We're going into the summer season. I have my conspiracy theory that they're mining massive amounts of oil from they're buying massive amounts of oil from Venezuela, and they started seriously getting oil from like Guyana and Suriname and that whole region of Latin America. Gold looks very bullish as well. Not as bullish as Bitcoin, but bullish still. And of course, the S&P 500 going to new all-time highs, as constantly predicted on this channel and all my other channels. MRI buy. What a crazy MRI buy. I would not have seen it coming on this kind of candle. I'm usually good at identifying MRIs, even if I like turn off the MRI, and I'm gonna say, yeah, that can easily be an MRI top. No way in hell would I ever say this candle is an MRI bottom. Way too far off the lows, but an MRI buy it is. And Green Star candle probably coming next candle, I guess. And all-time high, beautiful. All right, I'm bullish across the board on everything except government debt. I don't want to really. I think the shows ran long enough. I don't really want to look at the bond yields, but my guess is they're not favorable to the U.S. government. All right, leave it there. Back to you. And do we lose Matt? Well, anyway, like and subscribe, everyone. Join Matt's team for the trading competitions. And thank you all very much for watching. There's going to be a show on this channel, me and Mark Wood. Mark Wood and I will do a show at, noon Eastern. Damn, I get no rest. It's super early here in Las Vegas. At noon Eastern, at the top of the hour, I will be joined by Mark Wood, and I'm sure he's going to be super excited. I can't wait to look at all of his charts, and I will see you all on the next one, guys. Thank you all for watching, and see you soon. See you in an hour.